The Sahara has swallowed empires, but none as strange as this. On a night when the winds screamed like living spirits, a royal caravan pushed through the desert, carrying the wealth of Mansa Musa himself. Gold, so much gold that even the camels strained under its weight. But the storm was great and monstrous. It rose without warning, a wall of sand taller than mountains, tearing the desert apart. Riders vanished, torches died, camels, crates, and treasures worth kingdoms lifted into the darkness. Some said it was the wrath of the desert. Others whispered Musa's wealth had drawn something ancient from the dunes. By dawn, nothing was left. No tracks, no bones, and no gold. Only silence, and a legend that refused to die. The Smithsonian is never truly silent. Even on calm days like this, it feels like the air holds its breath, waiting for the next discovery to wake it. Dr. Mara Lawson walks through the long, quiet corridors with the same calm routine she's followed for years. She isn't expecting anything unusual today. Just another artifact review, another forgotten object waiting to be classified and stored. She enters the restricted archives, where dim lights and tall shelves create a maze of history. She has always loved this place. It's steady, predictable, safe. But the moment she steps inside, she feels something different. A faint tension in the air that she can't quite explain. On the table sits a single storage box, already set aside for her. No decorations, no special markings, just an anonymous container holding something from a desert far from here. She opens it slowly. Inside lies an old manuscript, darker than parchment should be, with markings that don't fit any region she knows, not a language she recognizes, not a style she's ever cataloged. Even at a glance, something about it feels out of place. She adjusts the lamp, letting the warm light fall across its surface. Her heart beats a little faster, though she isn't sure why. Wearing gloves, she leans in, studying the strange symbols. They seem carved, not written. The surface looks aged in a way that feels unnatural, like it endured something violent before surviving long enough to reach this room. She reaches out. Her fingers hover. She touches it. And then, Mara gasps, stumbling back from the table. The room sways. Her breath comes fast and uneven. She tries to regain her balance, gripping the edge of the desk as her pulse races. For a moment, she just stands there, staring at the manuscript. Nothing about it has changed, but everything inside her has. She tries to tell herself it was just imagination, stress, lack of rest. But her hands won't stop trembling. She steps forward again, slowly, carefully. Her curiosity pushes harder than her fear. Against her better judgment, she touches the manuscript a second time. She stumbles back even harder, knocking over a stack of boxes behind her. Her heartbeat pounds in her ears. Her knees feel weak. This time, the fear is sharp and real. She knows what she felt, what she saw. She can't explain it, but she can't deny it either. She looks around the archive room, searching for something that feels normal. But the shelves look different now. The lights feel colder. The entire room seems smaller, like the world has quietly shifted without warning. She turns back to the manuscript, unable to look away from it. It sits there, still and silent, as if waiting for her next move. She doesn't know who to tell. She doesn't know what any of this means. But she can feel it deep inside. Whatever touched her mind didn't stop. It opened something, a door she never knew existed. And she has the sinking feeling that walking away from this manuscript won't close it. Not anymore. James Callahan sat on a park bench, tossing crumbs to a small flock of pigeons. The afternoon sun warmed his face, and for a few moments, the world felt calm and ordinary, far from the extraordinary secrets that were about to enter it. Mara Lawson walks in and sat down beside him, her hands clutching a bag, her breath uneven. Her eyes darted around nervously, and the tension radiating from her was unmistakable. James looked at her, a flicker of concern crossing his face. "What's going on, Mara?" he asked softly, trying to read her expression. Mara opened her bag and revealed the manuscript, placing it carefully between them. She spoke in a low voice, almost a whisper, describing the visions she had seen, flashes of desert winds. James leaned back, taking a deep breath. His eyes widened slightly as he processed the weight of her words. This is serious," he said, his voice trembling with both awe and worry. "You have that manuscript in your hands. You know what it represents, don't you?" Mara shakes her head, barely able to speak. James continued, his tone growing grave. He told her about Mansa Musa, the richest man to ever live, whose wealth was legendary across continents. He spoke of gold, treasures, and caravans that vanished in the desert, leaving only whispers of fortune and ruin. His voice lowered, carrying a weight of warning. He told her how many had sought this wealth and how obsession had consumed them. Historians, explorers, treasure hunters, all lost to greed, misfortune, or worse. Mara listened, a chill running down her spine. She felt the thrill of discovery mixed with the fear of what could follow. James studied her closely, noting the determination in her eyes, but also the unease. He reached out and placed a hand over hers, resting on the manuscript, a silent gesture of support and warning. "You understand, Mara, that this isn't just a story," James said. "Whatever lies behind these pages has drawn men to ruin before. If you pursue this, you could be stepping into a path you might never return from." Mara swallowed hard, gripping the edges of the manuscript. "I've already seen what's inside," she said quietly. "I can't ignore it. I have to know." James nodded, a mixture of fear and respect in his expression. "Then I'll go with you. But we do this carefully. First, we return to the archive. We decode the symbols, understand the directions. We don't rush. We don't let curiosity blind us." They both sat in silence for a moment, the weight of the decision settling between them. Mara's heart pounded, and James felt the same nervous energy. Neither spoke, but the unspoken agreement was clear. They were in this together, and nothing could stop them now. Unseen behind a tree, a shadow lingered. It shifted slightly as they talked, watching every word, every movement. Mara and James had no idea that their first step had already been observed, a silent witness to the dangers and challenges that would soon follow. As the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the park, Mara and James stood together, the manuscript safe between them. The air was thick with anticipation. They walked away from the bench, their faces determined but aware that the world they knew was about to change forever.